Hey yo, it's hell on earth down here, the pavement scorching. It's molten rock when the mall walks it. Shit get hot like an ill pot of grit spilled on you. Spit fire with knives but never squealed on you.
It's Thursday, November 8, and we are literally days away from the event Xbox. Let's hope Microsoft can make a huge splash. Welcome back to FOXY Games UK. I'm Fox, your source of regular, reliable gaming news and rumour. So, Mads Gamer and I received some alleged Sony internal documents from a self-proclaimed PS5 insider. That's the actual profile name they used. I kid you not. I mean, a bank robber doesn't don a t-shirt advertising they are a bank robber before robbing the bleeding bank, do they? But we'll get into more on that later. First up, according to market research firm Superdata, players who pay for subscriptions spend approximately 45% more on games, and you may be just as surprised as I am when I really learned which game streaming service currently holds more than 50% total market share. Reported via VentureBeat.com, here's the full story. So, market research firm Superdata has reported that gamers who pay for subscriptions spend about 45% more for games than non-subscribers. That's one reason why big game publishers like Sony, Microsoft and Electronic Arts are betting more on subscription services. Superdata, which media measurement giant Nielsen recently acquired, collected data on the top subscription services, demographic profiles, spending behavior and in-game purchases of users that subscribe to a game service. Now, according to Superdata, subscribers also spend twice as much on in-game content when compared to non-subscribers. Cosmetics, season passes and battle passes are most popular in-game purchases among subscribers. The top three subscriptions made up 6% of the overall premium PC and premium console revenue in the third quarter of 2018. This number is expected to grow as more high-profile titles become available on subscription services. Here's a quote. The game subscription market heated up immensely in 2018 as game makers sought sources of consistent, reoccurring revenue, said Carter Rogers, principal analyst at Superdata. In a statement to really increase the appeal of their own subscription offerings, publishers are now offering brand new titles to paying members. Now, I've linked the full Superdata report in this video description for your perusal, though the following is a breakdown of each platform holder or publisher's total market share in a new revenue stream for the games industry, now worth an estimated $273 million a quarter. Starting with Xbox Game Pass, which holds 15% of total market share. Origins Access with EA at 8%. Origin Access Premium, EA again 9%. EA Access in general 16%. And PlayStation Now with a whopping 52% of total market share. Cleaning up there, and I'm very surprised that PlayStation Now is actually the top grossing in terms of revenue for the game streaming service platforms out of the big publishers and other platform holders. Very interesting indeed. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, so moving on to PlayStation 5. Now, I received some fake PlayStation 5 slides yesterday morning, and there's a good reason why I hadn't even uploaded a video regarding those particular slides from a self-proclaimed insider. They're about as close as being an insider, as I say, to a prison inmate. But a Photoshop launched PS2 mixed with a launch Xbox with that shiny smear-friendly piano black cover from the launch PS4 that hardly anybody liked. And even the wording and grammar was poorly executed within this slide presentation. Sony does not speak in such jargon, and the individual took every opportunity to state subject to change, not finalized, not yet decided, several release dates open, and pick your presentation event. It could be Tokyo Game Show or even Gamescom. Highly unlikely. Now, I feel like this person basically took everything that I particularly said in older videos going back up to 14 months and other people's videos and information snippets here and there on the net that have leaked, or fake news if you like, and perhaps they watch a ton of PC tech-centric channels and decided to attempt to fool the masses. Is the PlayStation video still up with those slides, and have Sony not taken it down? That's the question you should be asking, because these are reportedly official slides that would have been stolen or an NDA broken at least, so there is a punishment, there are consequences to such actions. So Sony hasn't taken it down in that slide form, then obviously this cannot be true. It's different from when I come out with what I say from sources, because I don't put up official, stats and claim, oh, these are leaked and these are official Sony stuff. That's a big difference from me saying this is what I've been told. Sony, it's a thought. Sony cannot come down on a thought in such an easy fashion, as opposed to really having some tangible information that is legitimately taken from Sony without their permission and revealed. Well, that is an offense, and they would take you down, your video at least. So, on one hand, I'm called out daily in a failed attempt to discredit information that I don't even really have to reveal at all. It makes no difference to me. Whether the truth is believed or disbelieved, it's still the truth. Even if I'm in a minority of one, the truth doesn't require your belief to validate itself, because the truth just is. So since I've been dropping PS4 Pro news, which was formerly PlayStation 4 Neo, years back, and now PS5, I'm a fraud, even though what I said has yet to be disproved. And when I try to steer people away from being misled, particularly with those most recent alleged top secret for internal eyes only PS5 internal media briefing slides, so I am accused of being jealous, and I didn't release these fabricated slides myself, even though more than half of what is in this leak has been revealed by me almost 40 months ago and more recently. You simply cannot have it both ways, people. Now, I get that some of you may want this leak to be 100% true, and that's your prerogative. Who am I to dictate your thought process? But I won't co-sign on this, nor will I play along to please the masses or even the minority, when so much of this supposedly just doesn't pass the litmus test. I'm not so concerned with random viewers who come along and comment who just so happen to come across my videos. No, my priority is with my subscribers. That's why I strive to deliver as accurate as possible information as possible. And so with that being said, I'm sticking with exactly what my own sources have been feeding me all this time, at least until I'm informed by them differently, and I suggest the smart ones among you do too. But of course, it would be remiss of me if we didn't discuss these specs, these alleged specs that have leaked through this internal Sony slide. It would be remiss of me, so while you're here, we might as well go through it together. So, a custom 7nm APU, AMD APU based on a Zen 2 and Navi architecture with custom ray tracing extensions, Radeon Rays, dedicated hardware. And yes, some of that is feasible, apart from the DLSS. I think that's an NVIDIA-owned proprietary technology. So you got the 11.2 T-flops, which I did indicate it's between 10 and 15, so as it were. And then you got the 16GB GDDR6 RAM, which I was informed by my own sources that the dev kits are 32GB, and they normally halve that because you don't need to obviously have that much RAM in a retail unit, because it's mostly used for debugging purposes. So yeah, half of 32 is 16, so we can roll with that. But I'm not too confident about the 14GB of that 16GB being reserved for games available to developers, because that means only 2 is reserved for the OS. And if you think back to the standard PS4, there's at least 3.5GB dedicated to that, and we expect the PS5 to be far more sophisticated. Vapor chamber cooling system, yes, absolutely, why not? Ultra HD BDXL/QL player compliant. I'm not sure about that. That could drive up the cost of the player. I think you can get an Ultra HD player with the 128GB storage or models now for about $300. How much would the PS5 cost? And you've also got the 2TB hard drive, which is perfectly feasible, but not the 1TB thereafter. And all the PlayStation VR Model 2 stuff I've already reported. In fact, a lot of it I reported, apart from these dates. The dates are what are really a bit dodgy. The dates are too precise. Sony hasn't even really prepped developers at DevCon yet, which is coming up next year. So I'm not sure why this is out there at all, and it's mostly, I'd say, 50% untrue, but as usual, you will make of it as you will. As usual, a link to all content covered today can be found in the video's description when and where applicable. And while you're there, share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of another video. Yes, I know. But let's continue the discussion in the comments. And for more PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and the next-gen news updates, subscribe to Foxy Games UK. Remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you like it here, and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video. If you really like what I do, consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, and or grab yourself a Foxy Games UK branded t-shirt or hoodie, available now in white, grey and military green. You'll find both Patreon and Foxy Games UK clothing links in this video's description. I appreciate the support. That concludes our time together today. It was fun hanging out. Until the next video, always remember, play games, not corporations.